Hi, I'm Michaela,
And I'm Tracy.
and we did a project about how people first perceive someone when they first meet you, and how the one who is receiving it feels inside. We both interviewed two people. One of the first people you will meet, his name is Irvin. He's a 19-year-old. He's actually black and white mixed, and he talks about how he is constantly perceived as being a black male. Then you will also meet a female. Her name's Alicia. She's 20 years old. She's also black and white mixed, and she's also married as well. And she talks about how it is to be perceived as black and white mixed, and how it is to be perceived at being married at a young age as well.
And then after them, you will meet a young man named James, who he is half Asian and half white, but he's more so going to focus on his socioeconomic status and how he is seen as kind of a broke college kid slash struggling artist, and the way that people treat him when they kind of assume that he's not going to have enough money for, you know. And then after James, there is a young man named Brandon, who is a African American. He is an athlete who spent 3 years in Europe playing. So he's going to talk about what it was like to be an American and African American on top of that in that kind of situation. So a couple of the questions that we asked them.
One of the first questions that we asked them was, what is it that others perceive when they first meet you? What do they think others perceive when they first meet them in a social setting? And then we asked them, what is a common misconception people have about them?
And then we also asked them how the misconceptions make them feel, A, about themselves, and B, about the person who is making those misconceptions about them. And then finally, we asked them what they notice when they first meet somebody and why. And we thought it would be a good idea to put it on camera so you could kind of see them talking, hear it from their personal lives, like get their mannerisms on tape, because from my experience in this class, when you actually meet someone face to face, it makes you feel a lot differently about them, about getting to know someone versus stereotyping someone based on what you think you know about them.
Right. So we definitely hope that you enjoy this video, and even more importantly, that you learn something. So enjoy.
Yes. See ya.
See ya.
What do you think people first perceive when they meet you? Or think about you when they meet you?
Tall.
Mm-hmm.
Black guy.
Uh-huh. And what do they think, what do you think, what conclusions do you think they draw about you being a tall black guy?
The basic black man stereotype, depending on how I'm dressed.
And what's the basic black man stereotype?
That all of us are thugs or drug dealers.
What is a common misconception people ask you or make about you?
They kind of judge me before getting to know me. They look at me as weird. And yeah, stuff like that.
Well, I've gotten a lot that when people first meet me, they think I'm Puerto Rican
Mm-hmm.
or that I'm Mexican,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm actually white and black.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I'm with my family, they think I'm Hawaiian because my stepdad's Hawaiian.
What is a common misconception people think when they meet you or have about you?
That one, they kind of think that I don't know much about being black because I haven't grew up in a black home, but I think that it's just them kind of pushing me off because my mom's white. A lot of people think I got married because I have a kid or my husband's in the military, but that's not true either.
Why'd you get married?
Because I wanted to.
Why?
And I love my husband.
Oh. How do these misconceptions impact you?
They really don't. It just gives me a brighter idea as to what people are like and how judgmental people are.
Do these misconceptions impact your opinion on others?
No, I try not to let it. I try to let people's opinions about me be their opinions, and I like to get to know somebody and form my own after I get to know them.
How do you think others perceive you when they first meet you? I'd say based on the clothes I like to wear and the fact that I look so young still, most people would think that I'm like a poor college student or like a poor musician. A common misconception that people have about me, I'd say like if I was in a restaurant, for instance, a waiter waiting on me or waitress would think that I would leave them like a bad tip because I couldn't afford it or something like that. How do these misconceptions impact me? Well, before this has happened before, a waitress must have assumed that when she saw me, and it was really busy, I could tell, but she treated me as like, I don't know, she put me on the back burner basically. Didn't take as good of care as me because she assumed that I was going to leave her a bad tip anyways.
Well, first going over there, my first experience was in Austria. I was kind of in a small town in Graz, Austria. And it was kind of like, we rode like a public transit. We would ride, everybody in Europe kind of rides public transit. And we got on the bus, except it was more like a metro train. And everybody's just kind of staring at us, me and my other black teammate. And kind of like we're pieces in a museum, if you will. It's just shocked because they just haven't seen, a lot of black Americans. They probably don't see a whole lot of us. And so I think immediately, that put us like, why are all these people staring at us? But, as we grew and got to learn their culture more and more and embrace them, and I think embrace their culture, I think that helped with our relationships in the future.
So yeah, the first one, how do you think others perceive you when they first meet you? That was sort of like, everyone else was kind of like Austrian citizens, and they just didn't really know what to do like at first when they saw you.
Right.
So what was a common misconception that people would tend to have about you?
I think immediately off the bat, being American, I think there's just general consensus that Americans are cocky, like we're kind of spoiled. We expect things to be handed to us, if you will. But I think the first thing that I wanted to convey to them was that's not the case. I'm here, I'm enjoying your culture. I want to learn as much as I can about the way you guys do things. And from a humble heart, not from a place that's cocky, not from a place that expects anything from you. And I think once I did that, like I said, they were wonderful people. They embraced us, and we got to learn a lot from each other, and all in all, it was a great experience.